When you girl bossed too hard and got a degree from Harvard and got a job in tech, but in reality all you want to be is a stay-at-home dog mom, but you're knee-deep in the 9-to-5 life and the rent is $4,300.
So, what these lovely ladies are saying is, they don't want to live that life anymore because it's bad. But they have absolutely no problem forcing a man into that life, or even a worse one, just so he can fund their stay-at-home dog mom lifestyle.
Just like a woman.
Pro tip for all the guys thinking that women are finally learning. The stay-at-home dog mom obviously doesn't want to have your kids, and she'll divorce you. And divorce court will give her the house and half your assets and your 401k, and you'll have to pay alimony until you die. However, if she has a job in tech and she can afford $4,300 in rent, you're still gonna get wrecked in divorce court, just it's gonna be a little bit less than if she was a stay-at-home wife. So, guys, if, and I say if, you wanna get married, send your wife to work. Actually, put that in the prenup.
Men are subject to military conscription. They're subject to the draft. So if there's a war, men are forced to go and die and be in the trenches.
So are women. Women can get drafted.
Women cannot get drafted.
Yeah, they can.
You think women can get drafted?
Yeah, I don't know.
Think
Put me up in Vietnam, I don't know.
Sweetie, if you don't know if women can get drafted or not, let me make it simple for you. You don't have to Google it or anything. You just have to be a girl. And when you turn 18, if you don't get a note in the mail from your local military base telling you to report at a certain place and time for selective service registration under penalty of court-martial, that means women don't get drafted. Want to know how I know? You see, because when I turned 18, I got the note and I reported. There were about 50 people there, all male. So, you see, it's easy to know stuff. You just have to pay attention to your own life.
If you had a child that wanted to get into an 18-year-old, of course, you would support them getting into it, correct?
Yeah. You know, you ask the most, basic, arrogant, disgusting questions.
Well,
No, I just need to let you know, you're a little prick. And you're lucky that I've even sat here this long and entertained this conversation. But yeah, I don't care as long as they're happy. But you ask all the basic, just so small-minded. You're just very disappointing. I really thought that you would have something interesting to ask me, but you just asked the same questions I've been asked countless of times before. And I really thank you for your time. Thank you so much for interviewing me. But yeah, have a nice day.
Sweetie, that reaction tells me not even you are 100% comfortable with your chosen profession. But one of the main duties that parents have to their kids is to deter them from making bad decisions that will negatively impact the rest of their lives, and to teach them that actions have consequences. So, if any of my kids decide to go into the industry, I will disown them.
How dare!
Because there's no such thing as unconditional love, and I don't believe in consequence-free parenting.
I say all the time, in today's day and age, you shouldn't be getting married until you're at least 35.
That was my next question for you. As a man, what age should you consider getting married?
So I have, this is my thing that I tell guys.
Yeah.
I think 35 years old, had slept with at least 50 women, 100K per year, you're in shape, and you got 6 months to 1 year of savings.
All right, done. I got to get married. I've done all that. That's easy.
Here's the Republic right there. So that is a recipe for a terrible marriage, by the way, guys. Waiting until you're 35 and have slept with 50 women, that is a terrible recipe for marriage by every available data point. It turns out that you are much better in terms of getting married if you get married younger, if you do not have a wide variety of partners. All the stuff about, being in shape and having money and all the rest, you should try to do that, generally speaking. But this notion that you wait until you're 35, you've already made a bevy of mistakes that have shaped your character and made you much more rigid as a person, and that you should have had a basis of comparison in terms of dozens and dozens and dozens of women. No, the data do not support this, and it's stupid.
Oh, wait, you serious? Let me laugh even harder.
I don't always agree with Myron, but in this instance, he's right. Now, a body count of 50 is relative, but the truth is, and listen closely, men need to experience the truth about female nature without being legally attached to a woman. They need to study the dating market, and they need to learn how to navigate the dating market in order to get the best outcome. But most importantly, they need to know the legal risks of dealing with women in America and the West in general, because legally speaking, men are most at risk when dealing with women.
You're goddamn right.
Now, Mr. Shapiro, here's the deal. The data points you're talking about are crap. If you were actually in the dating market, you'd realize that women typically prefer to date and marry older men, because older men have more life experience and make more money. So the whole men need to marry young thing, you can flush it, because most women don't want them. Also, it's pretty hard for me to take you seriously when it comes to marriage, because this exists.
We were dating for 2.5 months before we got engaged. That was pretty funny, actually. Like maybe 2 months in. Actually, so our first date was September 5th, and we got engaged December 22nd.
Was she at all surprised?
Well, what was really funny is that, so a couple of things happened. One, about mid-November, November 15th. I remember all the dates. November 15th, it was the first time I said I love you to my wife, and she said thank you. And I was like, oh, shit. And that lasted for about a month. That was a very awkward month. It was like I'd finish every phone call, I'd be like, love you, sweetheart. Thanks. Bye. So that was real awkward. But the reason she was doing that, and it made sense, is because of what happened next, right? December 15th, she says to me, I love you too. And she knew what was going to happen. She said that, and the next words out of my mouth were, okay, let's get married. Like, we're done. Okay. And she's like, I love you. You love me. We're done. Let's get married. Let's have kids. Let's have a life together. And she goes, let's just enjoy this time. So I'm not enjoying this time. This is miserable for me. Like, what are you talking about? If you're a religious person dating for marriage, the worst thing is the dating. The dating and the engagement sucks. Like, if you're a religious person, then you get to get married, you get to sleep with the person, you get to live with the person, build a life. But like, that's all the rest of this is just delay. So she's like, why don't we enjoy this? I'm like, you don't understand. I'm not enjoying this at all. This sucks. Like, I want to lock this down. We'll be done. It'll be great. This will be over, this period of our life. She was like, well, let's just think about it.
Okay, let me translate what she said in modern womanese.
You seriously give me the ick.
Bruh.
Now, I will congratulate you for getting her to marry you, but in case you're wondering, that's not what genuine burning desire looks like from a woman. So, chill with the marriage advice, because according to her, you're not that guy.
And that's the bottom line, 'cause Stone Cold said so.